Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user Throwaway7456345. Girlfriend, 25 female, and I, 26 male, have been fighting more than ever since she started living at my house. Asked for some space last night, all hell broke loose. My girlfriend, 25 female, and I, 26 male, have been together for a bit over 1 year. I'm torn because things have generally been really good, but we argue around once per week about one of my female friends, her thinking that I'm not attracted to her or thinking that I have wandering eyes. Lately, we have been arguing a lot more, and I think it is due in part to our living situation. About a month ago, we had a major argument because my roommate asked if she could join us for an impromptu dinner. When I brought this up, she got very angry and said that she wished I lived with her only so that other people wouldn't get in the way. She also mentioned how much she is upset when my roommate brings friends over or is around when she wants to be alone with me. I told her that I didn't feel comfortable moving in with her because of the frequency with which we fight, and think that we should be moving in together because things are great and we want to make them better, not to fix a problem that we are having. She also asked for a key to my house not long after, which I also felt uncomfortable with. We had a big fight a little over a month ago because an old friend of mine was coming to visit, and when I told her, she kept asking why I wanted to talk to her, accusing me of flirting with all of my female friends and stating that my friendliness wasn't necessary. I'm not attracted to any of my female friends, and I recently have no intention to do anything inappropriate. I even invited her to come with me. Regardless, I had asked for some space after this fight. She ended up waiting in my driveway for hours when I wasn't home. Then, about 3 weeks ago, she got a new part-time job that is closer to my house, about 20 minutes, compared to 45 minutes from her parents' house where she has been living. When she got the job, she told me that she would be spending a lot more time at my house, which initially I thought would be the days that she works and weekends. I decided to give it a try because it was so convenient for her. However, she now basically lives here, asking for a key all the time, spending her days off in the house while I am at my full-time job. Some days I come home exhausted and she takes the lack of excitement as a personal slight. A few nights ago, I was exhausted and got into bed while she took a shower. When she returned from her shower, I was asleep, but woke up and started talking to her. She was clothed and then took off her clothes while we were talking. I was so out of it and exhausted that I don't even remember what we were talking about. She jumps in bed and we cuddle and start falling asleep. She wakes me up to ask if I will be making a move. I apologized to her and told her I was very tired. The next day, everything seemed to be okay and we were texting throughout the day. Then, when we get to class that evening, she tells me that she was very offended that I didn't compliment her when she took her clothes off and thinks something is wrong because I haven't been very affectionate with her lately. I let her know that the frequency with which we have been fighting does affect the way I think. It is hard to be into something when I'm full of anxiety that something is going to trigger the next argument, but said that I do find her attractive and that I was very tired that evening from work. Things were weird afterward, and she texted me a bit during the following day, but I was scrambling around at work and couldn't sneak off to have a text argument. I did send her a short message and told her that I felt bad that I am always upsetting her lately. I figured that we would talk about it in person when we got to class later that evening. I go to class and she calls to tell me she is running late and begins yelling at me for not calling her right when I got out of work. It got to the point that I had to hang up on her because the class was starting and she was accusing me of not wanting to talk when I just didn't want to miss class. When I told her that I had been speaking with my mom on the drive after work, she told me to stop making excuses. So I ended up missing the last half of class after the break because we started arguing, and each time I would say we needed to head back, she would accuse me again of not wanting to communicate. We ended up arguing for 3 hours. I told her that I had been thinking during the day and think that practically living together has been making our fighting worse lately. She exploded, started crying, and said that she thought I was happy she was there all the time and that she had shown me we could happily live together right now. This went on and on until she kept telling me to just break up with her if I was going to kick her out. I asked to have 1 or 2 nights a week to myself when she doesn't have to work. I mentioned that she has been missing her parents and that it might be good for her to spend some time with them. She kept going on that she was going to lose her job because she couldn't afford the gas, which I have a hard time believing, and that she couldn't go home so late after class, 9 p.m. What did she do before she met me? She kept repeating that I am awful to communicate with and that I always have to be right. It's not that I have to be right, but I'm not going to admit to checking out some girl, not thinking she's attractive, or flirting with other people when none of it is happening. I'm just not sure what to do about any of this now. I love her and want things to work out, but I'm also stressed in ways I never thought possible due to the endless fighting. I don't think I can convince her that I'm not checking out every girl we walk past, and I don't think that asking for 1 or 2 nights a week to relax is unacceptable either, but I do feel awful that she is so upset. Is it wrong for me to ask for some time alone? I think that we are both at the end of our patience. If the fighting doesn't subside, I can't see this working out. Well, OP, to answer your question, no, it is not wrong to ask for some time alone. I would actually encourage it, and I would actually make it a permanent thing. I mean, it must be exhausting for you to have to be in this relationship. I'm exhausting from just reading your story. Your girlfriend sounds like a literal nightmare. I mean, there's nothing you can win here. There's always going to be an argument that she's going to pull on you in order to manipulate you in some way, always make you feel bad about yourself. You said it in your last line. You feel awful that she is so upset, but you haven't done anything to upset her. She's the one with the issues here. OP, you are in a toxic relationship and it will not end well, ever. Things will never be good enough and she's going to gaslight you into submission. So yeah, get some time alone. All of it. Tell her that she needs to move out and that you guys are done. And do your best to not get sucked into a argument about breaking up as to why you're doing this to her and all that stuff, because there's always going to be something that she can pull out of a hat to start an argument and keep you there. Just end it, turn around and walk away. Yeesh, the amount of red flags is ridiculous. And what do you guys think about this whole thing? How fast would you run away? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's go check out the community comments to see what they had to say. I Own a Guitar says, OP, end this now. This whole post is full of red flags. The jealousy, insecurity, dry begging for compliments, clinginess, codependency. Get out while you still can. Clearly, this girl is not at all emotionally mature enough to carry on an adult relationship, and you can't change that. All you can do is move on. Fuzzbuzz00 says, you know her better than I do, but from what you've written, you and she have very different ideas as to what a good relationship is. She wants you to consider her ahead of your mom and your friends in all circumstances, even when it's a friend you haven't seen in a while. You, on the other hand, want to have your own life separate from her. There's nothing inherently wrong with either your or her outlook on relationships, but they're simply not compatible. Put short, she wants more from you than you're willing to give. It's likely physically and emotionally draining you. I would recommend you end things with her. You probably had this on the back of your mind for a while, and while it may be hard to do, she's refusing to give you the space that you are asking for, and it seems that she doesn't really consider your circumstance. Good luck, man. Done All Wrong says, you have the patience of a saint. I'm female and generally consider myself difficult, but I pale in comparison to your girlfriend. My God, man, I had to scroll back to see if she was 18 because that is how she's acting. Insecure, needy, demanding, argumentative. I could go on. I get that you love this girl and want it to work out, but it doesn't seem like she's going to change her behavior. She is dragging you down, stressing you out, and having a negative impact on your life. I recognize that all relationships have their ups and downs, but there should be more good than bad. The negative should never outweigh the positive. I hate to give this advice, but I think it may be time to walk away from this one. You need someone way more chill. Additional information from OP's comments. I haven't lived with a significant other, but my girlfriend has. Actually, I'm sure that these issues are in part due to a previous relationship. She had a tumultuous relationship for over 10 years with her ex. Not long after they ended, we began to date after being very good friends for a year prior. When we started dating, I was worried about the lack of time in between, but I do think that has a huge effect on the way she perceives our relationship now. I hesitate to give her a key because she's shown that I can't trust her to leave when asked. I don't want to have an argument with her during the day and have her waiting in the living room until I get home. I also feel like providing a key is symbolic, giving my approval to her to live at my home. My roommate was initially not so happy that my girlfriend is practically living with me, and I didn't blame her. She shouldn't be afraid to ask to eat dinner with us now and then. Things were really rough with them until recently when they had a long talk and both told me they felt better about each other. There is a lot of jealousy since my roommate happens to be female. It's interesting. I've been wondering a lot about what the normal amount of me time is in a positive relationship. I think a large part is that I'm always trying to plan an activity or meet up with friends, her included, whereas she is waiting to see what I am planning to do. I think that a secure person would make their own plans and have their own reasons for wanting some alone time now and then. Alright, well, the community had different views, but the same result. OP needs to end this relationship. This is not a good relationship. And he also gave us some background on his girlfriend. Maybe that 10-year tumultuous relationship really did a number on her that she should try to work on. But regardless, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. First, I want to thank each of you for your responses. I was blown away by the number of comments and insights that were provided. I considered the advice given here and by friends heavily over the weekend. On Friday, I got home from work and texted my girlfriend that we needed a break. I made sure to say that I loved her, but it needed some time to process everything that was happening. I suggested that we speak next week. Honestly, my reasons for doing this were pure confusion. I felt like I would end things right away if I saw her, but I also was wrestling with my own feelings as well. She sent back a few snippy texts asking to come over and get her protein shaker and food. Nothing perishable, and I ignored this. I had an amazing weekend. I went out with some friends I haven't seen in a long time. Ended up at a nightclub dancing on Saturday night. I've been here with my girlfriend multiple times, but I thought I was outgrowing the place. I realized that I still loved to go, but I was anxious when my girlfriend was there as I was concerned we would get into a fight due to her jealousy, especially given the environment. I also spent a lot of time with my family as I haven't seen them without her by my side in a very long time. I had a frank conversation with my mom, who asked me what was happening due to her sad Facebook statuses. I wasn't planning on discussing this with her. One of my concerns was that my family adored my girlfriend, and I knew they would be shocked to hear any of this since I don't discuss the negative aspects of the relationship with them. I was annoyed that my girlfriend even posted those statuses. I have spoken to her before about airing everything on Facebook and causing embarrassing questions to come from family, but they were very supportive and it made me feel better in that respect. On Monday, she left me a voicemail asking if we could meet at a local park since we have class together the next day. I went to meet her and she immediately asked me if I had come to break up with her. I told her that I wasn't sure, that we needed to have an honest and open discussion about what has been going on lately and come up with a resolution if there is to be any hope of salvaging anything. We spoke for a long while about things that have bothered both of us. I told her that I would be standing firm on living apart as it was causing more problems, and she agreed. She told me that my lack of affection, such as pulling away while kissing and not instigating intimate time more often, makes her feel self-conscious about herself, resulting in jealousy of others. She also mentioned that she gets very upset when I don't text her back within a few hours, even while at work. So I didn't break up with her, don't get upset with me yet. But we both made compromises. I agreed to make an effort to be more affectionate, provided that we do not fight, and to return her texts more often throughout the day. She promised to not instigate arguments as often, and to give me the space in my home that I was asking for. My close friends were pretty disappointed with me after I returned home, but I felt that I needed to make a last effort and put everything on the table before giving up. It doesn't make anything easier that I love her and I wish this wasn't happening, but of course that can't be the sole reason to stay with someone. Anyway, Tuesday seemed to be a good day. She went home Sunday night and we were texting throughout the day. I gave her a ride to her car after class and mentioned that I had a lot of homework to do tonight, but was looking forward to her coming over on Wednesday. She acted strangely, just sat there for a while without saying anything, before revealing that she was hurt I did not invite her over. I gave her a hug and a kiss and explained again that as we discussed, we cannot live together, and regardless, my plans for the evening were to study and get to bed as early as possible. She left the car begrudgingly. Once I got home, she calls me saying she wanted to remind me to get cat food. I thanked her and let her know that I was home safe and asked if she was home. But she started complaining about the length of her drive home. I wasn't sure what to say other than I was sorry about that. She became very upset and told me that she was disappointed and really hoping I would want her to spend the night. That she had even packed a bag with clothes for nothing, that we could do our homework and study together. I advised her that we had already spoken about these issues and that I needed to get off the phone and finish my work before it became too late. It was 10 p.m. at this point and I need to wake up at 6 a.m. While working on my homework, she starts texting me, apologizing, wishing that things were different and that she feels discouraged. I did not answer and instead focused on my schoolwork. I really didn't want to get drawn into an argument, not only the wasted time texting, but the mindset that goes along with it. She continues to text, advising she is also doing homework and asking me to call before going to bed. Finally, around 12:30 a.m., she calls me and is noticeably upset, asking if I was sleeping. I advised that I am still working and asked if she is headed to bed. She tells me that she is drinking wine. She was very upset that I did not return her texts. I explained that I couldn't get into an argument right now and to please respect my boundaries and schoolwork. She got angry, saying that I always set the terms of her coming over. I reply, it's my house, that we both agreed to text more and I didn't. 2 hours had gone by, and that I could have avoided it by communicating with her. She also stated that I just wanted to come over and I couldn't even do that, which I think was the final straw. I realized that she feels entitled to my home, maybe because of habit or maybe because she doesn't respect my own feelings. I feel partially responsible for the habit of her staying at my home. I should have stopped it earlier. But I explained that I am drawing a line. She cannot live at my home, nor stay at my house the entire day waiting for me to get home. I kept telling her that I didn't have time for an argument and that we would spend the next night together. She kept me on the phone for 30 minutes. My own fault. Should have hung up. While I was trying to explain just how damaging it was to do this right after our talk the day before. I can't keep doing this. Before leaving today, I packed her belongings in my car. I'm going to break up with her today. I also realized how she turns the situation around to make me feel like it is my fault. She insisted that if I'd continued texting her throughout the evening, she wouldn't have been so upset, but I feel like the fact that she cannot respect my space and feels entitled to come over whenever is reason enough to end things. I know that it will probably be messy and she will be very upset, but I'm not angry, just disappointed things turned out this way. Thank you all again for your comments before. I reread what I wrote and the advice last night, which made me feel better about the decision I have made. My takeaway from this relationship is that I let myself think that the hesitation I was feeling wasn't normal. I won't ignore it if it happens again. Alright OP, well I'm going to count this as a half-happy update because it took you a little bit longer to get where you needed to get in order to understand that this relationship should go nowhere. So all the best in your breakup conversation OP and hopefully you can move on. Take care and thank you for sharing. Now I don't know about you guys but I definitely need a mood booster post. So let's finish the video off with that. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user This Is Side 1. Not allowed to bring shift meal home. At the hotel I work at, I work 4 days a week at the front desk and 1 day at the bar and grill attached to the property. Every shift we work, we are giving a complimentary family meal, meaning the kitchen makes something for us at 10:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. for the day and night shifts respectively. When I work front desk, there's always someone who can watch the front while I go take a few minutes to relax and eat, even if it's not right at 10:30. However, when I work the bar and grill, I generally don't have time to eat due to being busy serving. I used to take my meals I couldn't finish home with me after my shift so I could eat them when I got home and not waste food. Today, we were told that we are no longer permitted to do so because they would rather we throw that food away when we aren't able to stop to sit and eat. Today, I didn't have time to do that, so I clocked out, brought my food to the back office at the front desk, and sat and took my time to eat and enjoy my food. Even if I had to reheat it. Smiley face with a sweat. I'm not taking it off property, so technically, I'm complying with the new rule. Shrug. Well, OP, I'm gonna say this is delicious compliance. My dad jokes suck. Thank you for sharing, OP. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.